Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Journey to Greatness with David McDonald, the GOAT. And we are day 102. 102. Good morning, Lee. Good morning, Liz. How's it going, guys? What's going on? All right, so let's get to it. Sunlight hurts my eyes. Sunlight hurts my eyes. Sweet. All right, I'll see you guys on the other side. Alrighty, welcome back. Welcome back. Man, I'm struggling right now. I don't have my rubber bands in. Pause. No, not struggling, but I wish I had them in right now. Where are they, you ask? Well, left them in my buddy's car yesterday with my other teeth care package. Anyways, okay, so before we were rudely interrupted by my computer yesterday, let us get back to this. So we're going to jump back into our reading routine. So for everyone who is, hey, what's up, brother? Marcus, what's good, brother? I'm going to call you today. What's up, Jason? Good morning. Okay, so let me see. All right, so we're going to get into our reading routine. 4 Disciplines of Execution is my book. We're going to bring it home today, officially. And then I can go buy a new book at the bookstore today. So, I'll see you guys on the other side. Oh, yeah, that's right. Then they get into... Hmm. All right, for everybody out there who's with us, you guys can go ahead and jump into the journal routine. I have to finish this book, Determined and Pushed. I'm on the last page and a quarter. So I'll see you guys on the other side. All right. We have made it. Complete. Done. Over 3 books. Over 700 pages. Over 700 pages of reading in 102 days. Just reading 15 minutes a day. Now, check this out. So yesterday before I got offline, what I was going to say is truth affirms itself time and time again. That's kind of how, that's actually a good symbol. A good way to identify truth is if you hear something or something rings a bell in your mind, and then you go some days or the next day or hours, some time passes, and then you hear that thing again, and it makes you feel the same way from the time you first heard it, or something along the lines of, then you can almost be certain that that's truth, because you'll feel it, you'll know when you hear it, right? So with that being said, I'm just gonna go over a few sections in this book. So do you guys remember, like, maybe 2 weeks ago? Probably not, or maybe so. When I was talking about this book, I was going through and I was saying that this book is really factual. It's like factually based off of a study, a qualitative study, where they spent years, studying these cultures in these community in the business environment. And then what they wanted to do is they wanted to figure out a system that can help organize and help executives of certain companies, of all companies, any companies, increase their business production or achieve their goals, right? But then I said, although this isn't, if you're not in a situation where you're like leading a team or you're using this to run a business, you can apply this to your personal life because it's teaching you the disciplines. And we kind of took a different angle on it, right? Well, ironically, this book mentions that exact philosophy. And before I get into that section, there's a quote here. So let me see here. So when regarding to a team and people who are on your team, this actually kind of stood out to me. I like it a lot. Those with capacity but no interest can actually slow down the implementation of the four disciplines of execution and the achievement of results. As one of our clients recently said, if they are too available, they are not valuable. So I like that a lot because it's super forward and it's transparent. Pretty much that people who are in your life who have the capacity to do well or have the capacity to be great people around you or once were great people around you, let's say, for example, but now are influencing or they're are sprinkling their negative salt on you. They do. Sorry, the hand signal was the dude out in Florida, but sprinkling their negative salt on you. They pretty much like if they're too available, if they're always available to be around you, essentially. With that type of energy, then they're probably not that valuable, or they no longer serve you. So in a business sense, it makes sense because you want to be, you want to pay attention to that. Obviously, that was a big key to an experience that I've heard with a team, and essentially, the leader felt very He felt a little disappointed because there's people who left his team, and essentially that was trouble because he thought it was something personally that he did. But then this book actually cured the idea because it's like some people aren't made to be on your team. That's facts. Just like little failures in life that we may encounter, or challenges we may run into and overcome, that type of stuff happens. And so we just have to overcome it. And there's a reason for it. So when you come back to something where it's directly related to you as a person and you're supposed to be doing it and you're the one who's fully responsible, there's no questions about that, and you fail at it, sometimes, we can take that a little bit harder. But the thing about it is like with something with leading people, I mean, again, not everybody's going to be a good fit. even when you put, time and energy into helping that person or developing that person. And so this book did a really great job providing perspective. If they are a capacity player, if they are too available, they're probably not valuable. Golden. So let me see here. Now, to my point, this last couple pages was pretty strong, and it applies to what we're doing. And then I had one more revelation, and then we'll be done. So change is hard. In this chapter, we want to briefly show you how these principles of team execution can also be used to help people change their lives and accomplish some important personal or family goal. Crazy. Truth. It happens all the time. People approach us after a 4DX or 4 disciplines of execution work session, look around to make sure no one's listening, and whisper, "Do you think 4DX would work in my personal life?" Our answer, absolutely. Although we didn't set out to find a better way to accomplish personal goals, we discovered that the 4DX is a profound methodology for achieving any goal of any kind, whether work or at home. Not surprisingly, the principles of focus leverage engagement and accountability, which undergird each of the disciplines, seem to work at any level, be it organizational, team, or personal. Okay, that's big to me, especially, and it shows me that we're actually thinking in the right way, because we have our life philosophies, we have the principles and things that we live by, right? But the thing is every single day, every single moment, our perspective can be changed. We can learn something else because we're living and walking with an open mind. So therefore, we're influenced in all these different directions. But to the core of us, we know what truth is, and we know who we are as people. And I can speak for myself. I know who I am as a person, and who I am, living from the end of the man, that I believe myself to be. And so to read this, it's interesting because when we started the book, we could have just said, "Oh, this is only shaped around business and organizational structure," right? But this is like 2 weeks ago, so we were maybe a third, maybe halfway through the book, let's say, and we were holding that perspective that this could possibly be relatable to our personal lives. I think that's a huge up level, because at the end it would have been a surprising thing, like, "Oh my gosh, you could apply this to your real life. Oh, we're doing it." But it's like, nah, like throughout the whole book, we've been like, how do we apply this system, or how can this system be beneficial to us in a personal space? So I think that's absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let me see here. Now, okay, and then what's even more crazy is naturally we are actually doing the personal side of everything here that I'm talking about, the 4 disciplines of execution. Okay, this is what's really trippy to me and how it comes around full circle. So discipline number 1 is identifying a goal, 1 or 2 goals. So you have a whirlwind, which is everything. The whirlwind is essentially the crazy space that we all live in, or the voice in our heads, the things that we get distracted by on a daily basis. It's a whirlwind. And so we go through these, like, "Oh, okay, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. I have to do this for today. Okay, break." And then, have you ever experienced the time when you said you had to do multiple things in a day, but you were only able to achieve like 2 or 3? Right? That's considered, you're wrapped up into a whirlwind. They call that the whirlwind. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to identify your wildly important goal. That's discipline number 1. So you don't want to pick more than 1 or 2 things to focus on. And then for discipline number 2, you identify the lag measure and the lead measure. Oh, shoot. There's another part in this book that actually I just reminded me right now. So you want to identify the lag measure and the lead measure. The lead measure are the little steps that are going to get you to achieving the goal, which is the lag measure, the big goal. And then when you do these activities, it's going to slowly move you step closer and closer until you achieve this. Well, the benefit of doing it that way, by having a lead measure, activities that are measurable that you can track, to getting to your goal, you excuse yourself from the wild whirlwind that will, keep you all in disarray. And then you have a compelling scoreboard. So at the end, they gave you a couple examples of people who used the compelling scoreboard to help motivate them to lose weight. So if you wanted to lose weight, there was a lady in the book who gave an example. She said she wanted to lose like 15 pounds or 20 pounds. So she made 3 lead measures. So her lag would be losing 30 pounds. Her lead measures is walk 10,000 steps a day, not eat after 8 p.m. And there's one other one. Oh, eat healthy. So she already had eat healthy. So she only had to focus on these 2 lead measures, the little steps that get you to the lag, right? The end goal. And so her compelling scoreboard, right, in her personal life. So in a business, like I went to a company, I can't say their name because I signed an NDA, but they had TV screens all over the walls, right? And it was just a big, huge, like imagine a huge warehouse or a huge like office building, right? And then on one floor, they had like both sides, and it was just open for like maybe a block, right? That's how long the building stretched, like a block, let's say. And on that entire floor, they had visual screens everywhere. And I just started reading this book. So when I went to that place, and I may have spoke about it, they had the names of all of the top salespeople, what their numbers were looking like, what they were on track to do. It was super sophisticated. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's number 3, keeping a compelling scoreboard. Okay, so that's in a business sense, you'll see it everywhere now. So if you pay attention to like when you go to businesses, like you'll start to see, oh man, they have a scoreboard. And even maybe at your own job, like your credit card tracker, how many credit cards have you sold at your business? Like how many files have we closed? And then they keep a scoreboard with a year to date and a PYTD, a previous year to date, so on and so forth. So interesting, I know. But jumping back to the weight loss. So what this lady did was she tried to keep an Excel spreadsheet. That didn't work. It was too much work, right? She got on the track and then she got derailed. So what she did was she made this like easy tracker. It was just like a poster that and then she wrote like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, all the way at the top. And then on the vertical axis, then she wrote eating healthy, working out 10,000 steps, and not eating after 8. So every morning and every night she had to be in that restroom. She would just go in there and put an X next to all the ones that she achieved for the day, right? Or for the week. And so that was her compelling scoreboard. So then that compelling scoreboard led right naturally into the cadence of accountability, which is discipline number 4. So holding yourself accountable. This is super powerful, you guys. Check this out. So finally, there is power. Finally, there is power in public accountability. Jamie's husband was her official accountability partner, but her kids were every bit as involved. Whenever you set a personal goal, your chances for success go way up as you involve others in your goal and have them hold you accountable. What are we doing right now? What have we been doing for the last 102 days? It's crazy to me. And I tell everybody, so why do you do it on Facebook Live? Well, because it holds me accountable. Not only is my goal to build community, through self-development and self-building, like these books are going to be up here soon, and we're just going to be ridiculously just beefed up on everything. And then so it's like, okay, not only does it hold me accountable and help build community, but it helps me shape discipline for myself also, And so what's super powerful to translate all of this and bring it home is we have set a goal, and those lag measures, or that lag measure, that goal is to wake up and be disciplined for 365 days. Okay, we started at 10, but now we're at 365. That is our lead goal, our lag goal, which is discipline number 1. which is discipline number one. Our actual goal. Sorry, that threw me off. Our lag goal. Discipline number one: defining one or two goals. My one or two goals is to build community so that everybody can grow together in self-development. Okay, so that's number one goal. It's to build a community. And I'm not talking about just any community. I'm talking about a worldwide community, a community that's bigger than us, that serves a bigger purpose than just me. And everybody can come together and be identified in this community of growth. And together, as we continue to succeed in life, as we continue to achieve things, we can share those achievements with each other and learn from each other. We can go on vacations together. We can do study projects together. We can truly be in a perfect space as a community of growth and always constant learning. Those are think groups. I like that kind of stuff, right? And I think that would serve, the bigger picture times 10 with love and gratitude and non-judgment and self-shape. And then my second goal is to be super accountable for me. So I can be super disciplined, because I know how important, and what type of impact this is all having on me on a daily, and how it's changing the way I look at business, the way I look at my life, the way I look at my relationships. So my goal is to be the best person I can possibly be. Okay. Now the lead and lag measures is, how do you do that? Okay. You meditate for 15 minutes a day. You read for 15 minutes a day, and you journal for 15 minutes a day, and then you work out. So if you could do those 4 things every day, those are going to be lead measures to get to our goals, which are our lag, right? Where we want to be. Now, the scoreboard, our scoreboard is logging online, and it could be a little bit more compelling. We're at 102 days. So every time you log on, it's crazy how all this is just worked out. Every time you log on, you see that 102 at the top, or 100, or whatever the times are, right? The days are being identified. We're going to go for a year, but that's not clearly identified. And so maybe we should do like 102 of 365. So it's like, okay, that's the scoreboard, right? But then again, when you think about scoreboards, because they say mentally and psychologically, it helps people achieve goals. When you have a scoreboard for yourself, for example, basketball, football, hockey, right? The people who are watching in the audience are so compelled to pay attention because there's a compelling scoreboard. There's the competitive nature of the sports, right? One person versus another person, or trying to achieve that goal. So maybe we could do day 102 of 365, right? So we're keeping a compelling scoreboard to a degree right now, even though there's no end. And then the fourth is public accountability. We're all doing this together. So the name of this chapter is truly bringing it home. And this just kind of solidified everything for me again. And it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I think it's a perfect ending to, pretty much, where we are and what we're doing. And, the next book that we're going to read, I already know is going to be a mind rocker. This book, I went through there was a few times where we had social sessions after, at the end of our greatness, our journeys for the day or for the mornings. But the next book I know is going to be more so along the lines of like spiritual reliability, where I could just take concepts directly out of the book and then just, read a chapter, or read a page, or read a section of the book, and then draw that back to a relatable present. But this disciplines shocked me toward the end. And I think that congratulations, David, you made it. Thank you. And congratulations to everybody else out there who may be finishing their next book or coming close to it. But now we have 3 books in our library. I'm not sure what our next book is going to be quite yet, but let's see. And just know the work that you're doing, the work that we're doing is tremendous work. This work is building. This work is growing your capacity to dream, to be disciplined, to change and go against all the odds. And I feel that man, this book is crazy. This discipline book at the end just rocked me. And it's a sense of encouragement. The feeling I feel right now is encouraged. I feel encouraged to continue. And it's exciting because it's like when you get truths like that kind of are, you can apply them to like what you're in the middle of. It just makes you feel better about what you're doing. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's an overwhelming feeling of joy and accomplishment. So I hope you guys all feel and take some of that energy, and I extend some of that energy forward to your day today. And you have an excellent day like you do every day. And I hope that this journey is as beneficial to you as it is and has been for me. Thank you for sharing this space with me, and thank you for being with me on day 102, the journey to greatness. And I will see you all tomorrow. Make it an exceptional day. Love you guys. Peace.